What's up, everybody? It's the Bowtie Boss here for Fight Combat Sports News. Today I'm talking about the big fight that's coming up, man. You know, this is a great summer for boxing. We got the MayDay, man, May per view. You know, Money Mayweather fighting Marcos Maidana, and I think this is a really good fight for Floyd. He hasn't shown power in a while, and I really think that he wants to knock out Maidana. He also wants to separate himself from all of this Adrien Broner stuff. I mean, some of the funnier memes I've seen out there about this whole Broner and Floyd situation is pretty hilarious, man. Like that one where it's a Coke can and a Diet Coke can, you know, Floyd and Diet Floyd. And I don't even think that you know, Broner can be considered Diet Floyd. I would put him in the Coke 2 category for those of you guys that are old enough like myself that can remember that kind of thing. So, you know, what happens in this fight? Obviously, it's no surprise. Mayweather's going to win. I really think he could stop Maidana. What's going to be interesting to see is how many lead right hands Maidana gets hit with. I think Floyd will even go back to that lead left hook. Maidana just, the legs don't move right. You know, whereas Broner's defense is to try to smother shots. You know, Floyd moves away from them before smothering them. I don't think he's going to have any issues with Maidana. I don't even know if he's going to get hit with anything clean. But then again, I'm not saying anything surprising at this point. You know, everybody knows Maidana's in for a long night. You even see his friends getting interviewed, like on you know, ES News interviews or whatever it is. And you know, guys who love Marcos Maidana, those are his boys. You know, those are his homies and his people, his gym people. And the first thing they say when they get asked, you know, who you think's gonna win, Floyd or Marcos? And do you think Marcos has any chance? And you see him, you know, they're rolling their eyes, shaking their heads. He doesn't have a chance. He's not going to win 1 minute of one round as long as this thing goes. Amir Khan would have been a much tougher fight for Floyd because of the hand speed and really the foot speed a little bit, which Maidana has neither of. Up next is probably the best fight on the card, man. Amir Khan versus Louis Collazo. That's a really good fight. I'm looking forward to this one more so than any other fight on this card. I'm edging towards Amir Khan right now. I think that he's got the hand speed advantage by far. But what I think is going to set him apart from Louis Collazo is that when people throw combinations at Collazo, he backs straight up. Right, so he starts to hop on that back foot. Doesn't necessarily shoulder roll, but he'll lean back off of that shoulder and he'll start hopping back. Amir Khan, you know, has got those fast hands. He's gonna chase him down. Where I think Collazo can catch him in there is if he starts hooking. You know, he's throwing that hook, basically trying to catch Amir Khan in the middle of that and catch him over one of the gloves. But I really think that Amir Khan is just a little too fast for Collazo. Last time Collazo fought a superstar Brit, what happened? He fought Ricky Hatton, he lost the decision. I felt he won the decision. But I can see a scenario where it's another hotly disputed decision. I just think that Amir Khan's gonna win this fight, and this is a huge fight for both of them, man. This is like a potential Floyd Mayweather fight off the back of this. You know, this might be September. One of these two guys is fighting Floyd Mayweather. Who knows? I think that Collazo is one of the better fighters. I really enjoy watching the kid fight. I just think Amir Khan is going to edge him out. Am I 100% wedded to that? No. Would I be surprised if Louis Collazo pulls this one out? No. Would I be surprised if he puts Amir Khan in some serious pain and gets him out of there? Wouldn't be surprised with any of that. I just seriously think that Amir Khan's hand speed and the foot speed and the intensity that he's going to bring is going to cause Louis Collazo problems. By the time Collazo makes the adjustments and starts winning more rounds, you know, it's already going to be the 7th, 8th round. I think he's going to be a little too far behind at that point. Lose a decision, you know, 115, 113 type of decision where, you know, he gave as good as he got. I just think that he's going to be too far behind by the time he gets to that point where he starts ramping up and landing his shots, his counter shots, and then his lead shots. Then up last is Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner's fighting Carlos Molina. I'm glad that they moved him down to 140 pounds. You know, I think he beats Marcos Maidana in a rematch. I'm not sure if he would be able to pull it off. I just think that if they fought 10 times, he probably wins 6 or 7 out of the 10. But I was just doing a little looking on BoxRec, just looking at random, you know, just their top 10. It's not, you know, it's not an official top 10 by any means, but at welterweight he's got Mayweather, Bradley, Marquez, Pacquiao, Maidana, Kell Brook, Robert Guerrero, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Devin Alexander. I don't know that he wins any of those fights on the night that he fights him. I think Marquez, Maidana, and Sean Porter, he probably has the best chance against those guys. But I really can't see a scenario where he ever beats Mayweather. I think Bradley would be too intense. I think he probably splits 10 fights with Marquez. Pacquiao, I think, would give him a world of problems, just with the overall hand speed and pressure. Maidana, you saw what happened last time they fought. Kell Brook, I think that his range and hand speed is going to give Broner problems. Guerrero, I think, would be really too intense for him, and I think that they split 10 fights. Sean Porter's kind of a little less refined Timothy Bradley. And Keith Thurman, I think, would put Broner in some serious pain, some serious trouble, and knock him out. And then Devin Alexander, I could see a lot of scenarios where he just flat out outboxes Broner. But then you look at junior welterweight, and at the top, obviously, you have Danny Garcia and Lucas Matisse. Danny Garcia is probably not going to be a welterweight, junior welterweight for much longer. And I think because of this two styles of those guys, Broner would have a really good chance against them. Broner isn't overly aggressive. That's the kind of fighter Danny Garcia does really well against. Overly aggressive guys who end up, leaning out over their feet, which Broner's just not going to do. I think it would be kind of a boring fight, but I could see scenarios where Broner beats Danny Garcia. I could see scenarios where it goes the other way as well, but much better chance there. Matisse, I think he would give Broner trouble, but I can see a lot of scenarios where Broner would beat Lucas as well. Provodnikov, I don't know if he's necessarily going to be a welterweight, junior welterweight for long, but that's the last guy at that weight that I think gives Broner a ton of issues. We got Lamont Peterson, Jeffrey Verges, Victor Postal. Amir Khan's going to be at welterweight. Khabib, Alagverdiev, and Antonio DeMarco, who we already seen him beat Humberto Soto. He beats all those guys, man. The top three guys, Garcia, Matisse, and Provodnikov, are probably not going to be at this weight long. Broner moves down, gets two showcase fights, and then he can rule that division for some time to come. Or he could go to welterweight and lose again. Up to him, man. But I don't think there's any chance that he loses against Carlos Molina, Amir Khan over Louis Collazo, and Floyd Mayweather by late round knockout over Marcos Maidana. This is the Bowtie Boss here for Fight Combat Sports News.